done it! I cannot believe it! I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again!
Hello everyone, we are Through on Goal, a podcast where we talk about football and pretty much nothing else. My name is Sam, and as always, joined by my co-host, very best friend Elliot. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Sam. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Did I smooth that out right?
Yes, yeah, very nicely.
No one knew I was going to say I'm a celeb, because who watched the England game?
I watched the first half of it.
Yeah.
Wish I didn't.
Yeah. Before that, how was your week?
I can't really remember very much happening. It's just the same as every other week in lockdown, really. It's another 7 days, same stuff, different week. How's your week been?
I had a half day Friday.
Yeah, nice.
That's how my week, but yeah, that's how my week was.
Yeah.
Internationals, friendlies, and whatever this Nations League is, in the middle of a pandemic. Thoughts?
It's not the smartest idea, is it? Really?
No, it's got to be up there with pay-per-view Premier League pay-per-view. I think up there with those decisions.
Also, before we get stuck into international break, can we also just say thank God that common sense has prevailed and pay-per-view Premier League matches, at least for the tail end of this year, have been scrapped.
You know what they did?
That is a good bit of news. Have they been listening to us?
They listened to us. They told the friends. They listened to us. And they were like, no, do you know what? No, it is a shocking idea. Fair enough.
I reckon all the Premier League managers got together. They told the friends, which was the FA. And now it's been done. But no,
yes, I mean, you're welcome, football.
I mean, I think this weekend coming up, Sky Sports have got 6 Premier League games, which ordinarily, or as it has been under pay-per-view, there's only been 5 televised across any channels. So, yeah, it's good to have kind of weekends of wall-to-wall football back from next weekend.
Just football. Burnley versus Southampton, give it to me.
Yes,
I'm not paying 15 quid for that. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, where were we?
Yeah, back to the original point of
international friendlies
during a pandemic. It's stupid, isn't it?
It is ridiculous. It's not only does it put the players' health at risk. Mo Salah, for example.
Yep.
Obviously get coronavirus, and there was a player, I can't remember who it was, who played 90 minutes against England, contracted coronavirus as well. But it's the stupid injuries. Liverpool, I don't know if they've got any players left.
Yeah,
Robertson, Henderson today, Joe Gomez. Because they said he suffered an injury in training. And I'm thinking, oh dear, he'll probably be out for a couple of weeks. But all the headlines were he's struggling to make time to be back in time for the Euros. That's your 2 main centre backs.
Yeah, I mean
if there's ever a time for Reece Williams to step up,
they've obviously still got Matip, who is actually their last remaining defender, who's fit at the moment. But yeah, they're going to be struggling.
Who'd have thought they'd rue the day they sell Lovren?
Yeah, but with this Gomez injury, now call me cynical, but I'm convinced that, and don't go suing me, but I'm convinced that Jordan Pickford was involved, because they haven't mentioned anything of what happened. They've just kind of swept it all under the carpet, and I've just got this feeling that Pickford's come out, done something similar, and he's just said to Southgate, he said to the coaches, for the love of God, I can't do this again. Don't.
It would have come out by now, surely there would have been something.
But yeah, obviously it's a big miss for Liverpool, and it's a big miss for England as well, with Euros coming up, because even if he's fit for the Euros, what kind of condition will he be in? And
yeah,
I would say
wouldn't have played much football, would he?
No, of course. So I would say in whatever formation we play, whether it be a 4-back or a 5-back, I would have Joe Gomez in that defensive line if everyone was fit.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think he's one of England's best young centre-backs, if not one of the best centre-backs.
And obviously all
wish
him well to recover well.
Please. Because Paddy Power put out that England are joint favourites to win the Euros. Now, I would love nothing more than to see it come home, singing It's Coming Home on the streets of Derby. But when England have quite possibly, definitely in my lifetime, one of the best attacking options just to choose from, Sancho, Sterling, Rashford, Kane. You've got players coming up like Grealish as well. Grealish was fantastic. Yet we're playing like 7 defensive players against the world number 1.
Yeah, so we're playing away at Belgium today, which is obviously a difficult game. But we start with a back 5, which, okay, if that's the system Southgate is intent on going, fair enough. But we're playing with a back 5, and then our 2 midfielders are both defensive midfielders. We start with Jordan Henderson and Declan Rice. And okay, they're both very capable midfielders. I just don't feel like you play them together.
I know what you mean. There was no pace. There was no attacking threat going forward. It was, I can't imagine being like leading that front line like Kane was, and there's just no one there to support you. There's no urgency when you get the ball back to take it up, and it's just
because. Yeah, it was essentially Mount and Grealish on the wings, and they're both kind of Grealish definitely. Grealish was a standout tonight from what I saw in the first half and from what was said from the second half. And Mount, obviously, Southgate loves him, but he does do all right for England. So it's not necessarily the selection of individuals; it's looking at it at a team. And there's no pace in that front line, no pace at all. There's creativity, but when there isn't someone for Kane to nod the ball to or to play off of him, it's not working.
Yeah. What Kane really thrives on at Tottenham, he's got either Bale, Bergwijn, Lucas, or Son on his wings.
Yeah,
pace. He's got pace. He can afford to drop back, find a pass, and then let it get out to the wings, and then get into the box and make some, or just assist every goal in the Premier League. But this, what did he have? He had obviously Mount and Grealish. Now, Grealish, I guess he is more of a winger in the sense of that's where he plays for Villa. I still think he's more through the middle
10,
and stuff. I think he's very good, But Mount isn't. He's not a winger. He is a number 10. I think he is a midfielder. And I just don't see the need for him playing on the wing.
He has played a handful of games at right wing for Chelsea, I know, at least towards the end of last season. But again, I think both of them, their best position is through the middle in a number 10. And we've got enough capable wingers just to not be forced to play two number 10s on the wings.
And exactly.
Yeah, they're good creative midfielders, but you need pace, and particularly when our game plan's out the window 20 minutes in, we've obviously started to defend. We've started the game to defend and try and maybe get a draw, but the game plan's out the window 20 minutes in, we're 2-0 down, and you've got no pace on the counter attack. You've got nothing.
No, obviously to note Grealish, I personally think I hope it does happen, but that Euro spot is Grealish's to lose. I think I can't think of many players better for England right now than how he's just the urgency in that, and the will to play, and to, like, he draws fouls. He does well at that. Saka also came on. He played against Ireland, didn't he? And he came on again for Belgium, and he looks all right. He looks a bit of energy, bit of pace. Reece James looks on the right. We've got so many options. Just play. At the World Cup, when you played that three at the back, it really worked, and now we're just relying too heavily on it. We're not changing. We're not doing anything different. Elliot, if I had to put a question to you, would you go to the Euros with Gareth Southgate in charge?
I don't know, because under Southgate, I do not think that we're good enough to win it. But then, to answer your question with a question, who do you replace him with? Who's really going to improve this? Because Eddie Howe...
You'll have this Eddie Howe, people screaming Eddie Howe, Pochettino...
Yeah, but then
Koku's available now.
I feel like Pochettino's going to club football.
Yeah. No, definitely not.
But I mean, it's a short list, isn't it? I mean, I can see
Sol Campbell.
I could see one day eventually. I can see Jose Mourinho become an England boss. He spent so much time in England. He knows the players. I can see him doing what he can choose his players. If he doesn't want Luke Shaw at left back, he doesn't need to play Luke Shaw at left back.
Exactly. And Pogba doesn't play for England, so he's all right. So
I could see that, but obviously that's years and years down the line. But right here and right now, I wouldn't know. Is Steve McLaren? Is Big Harry Redknapp's career completely finished, or has he got one last ride in him left?
No, surely not.
No.
I think that's gone. That's must have gone, isn't it?
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
His career was over when he went into the jungle.
Well, he's done all right since.
Yeah.
Obviously, Mick McCarthy's now not available. He's done an 18-month contract somewhere else.
Oh, hasn't he gone to Cyprus or somewhere?
Cyprus. Yeah. Why?
Oh, he'll be loving it. Mick McCarthy. You'll be
he's all right.
I presume it's somewhere near Iron Apple. I could just see him out on a Thursday night.
No, the job is it's a tough one to fill. That with the managers that are obviously, you don't have to look at managers that are available now. You can look at any manager, but even then, I'm struggling to think of who
Yeah.
There's obviously the obvious, but you look, Guardiola, Klopp and Mourinho, but realistically looking at who can manage England right now going into the Euros.
Allegri?
Gerrard.
But yeah, you're really sort of struggling, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. So it's not so much wanting Southgate to be in charge, but it's
what's the alternative?
I think why we're so divided on it is because, to be fair, he made us fall in love with English football again.
Oh, yeah.
That waistcoat in 2018, that passion, and the World Cup semi-final. For the first time, we're in beer gardens, we're singing It's Coming Home, and Southgate was the manager for that, and and you've got this such feel of whenever you think, he could be Southgate, you're the one.
I always look back on that summer as the best of my life.
And I think that's why I'm trying to hold myself. I don't want him to be in charge. England are bored. They've never been an exciting team to watch, but they're just boring. It's just there's nothing. There's no urgency. And I think the reason why I'm being so nice about it is because he's the reason I'm passionate about England again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's what bought it. And
I mean, I think the possibility of him leaving before the Euros is nil. He's not going to. But I just hope that in 7 or 8 months we're in Pop World at 2 a.m. singing Southgate, you're the one, after watching England win. And that's
if that happens, then absolutely
get the waistcoat back, Gareth. It's all gone downhill since the waistcoat's gone, hasn't it?
Bring back the waistcoat. Because Phil Neville did it when he was the manager of England women, and he got to the semi-finals.
We had a country that loved Harry Maguire. We had a country that loved Jordan Pickford, Jesse Lingard. There's been some real divisive moments in this country in the last few years, but that wasn't one of them. That 2018
was amazing.
I'd guess around 50 million population of England, not including the 10 million from Wales and Scotland who had Croatia emojis in their Twitter names. But,
whoever England played, Sweden.
For that summer, there were 50 million English people all on the same page, all wanting success. And what a summer it was as well.
Yeah, no, I do. Oh, feeling it. That 2018 was amazing. There was a game on every day.
Just to maybe even just ramp up the excitement a little bit more. If there is some kind of semi-normality by the time that the Euros comes around, imagine having the year we've had of 2020 going into a little bit of normality in 2021. Football's coming home, the waistcoat's on, beer gardens are open.
That's it.
That's the dream.
Oh, bring that vaccine. So no, I agree. I'm hoping for a big summer. I'm hoping there is some form of normality where we can just watch England, a major competition and win. Maybe I said, that'd be nice.
Yeah, no, that would be nice.
Yeah. Euros obviously next year, provided it doesn't go to hell again.
Yeah.
There's a big date for the diary. I can't remember what the date is.
I can remember what day it is.
We can tell you the day. We can't tell you the date.
It's a Friday evening.
England versus Scotland
Wembley
in
Stadium.
The Euros at Wembley Stadium.
Oh, that's going to be the real one. It's going to be finishing work 5:30, getting straight down the pub. Hopefully.
In the interest of being non-biased, well done Scotland. First major tournament in 23 years is some feat, but
also, Sam,
that's all.
Last time Scotland made it to a major tournament, you were your son's age now.
Right. Oh, cheers for that.
Or you may be slightly older, but it's not a lot older.
Thanks for making me feel old. Oh my word!
Yeah, but
and then he'll be watching England v Scotland, and imagine that we've waited our whole lives, like 24, 25, oh God, I'm 25. 24, 25 years for England to do something. And Jacob, he's been around for a year and a half and he watches England win the Euros. He's not watched and been heartbroken.
He's going to be watching England win the Euros, Derby win the Champions League. He's going to be a right little glory hunter. He's going to think,
he's going to think it's normal. We're going to, when he's growing up, I'm going to think, no, that's not.
That's not how football works.
This never happens. This has never happened. Yeah. He needs to witness Steve McLaren standing on the touchline with an umbrella looking downtrodden because Croatia beaten us and we've not got to the Euro 2008. He needs to witness Iceland knocking England out of the Euro 2016 because Joe Hart can't save a ball going 2 miles an hour.
You know what else he needs to witness? Gillingham get a top half finish in League One.
No,
that's progress.
Hashtag Gillingham He'll be watching Gillingham win the Papa John's Trophy this year, my friend. He's going to hashtag Gillingham do something.
Yeah.
We've gone on a bit of a tangent.
We really
here.
have.
Oh, Scotland.
Scotland,
Oh, well.
yeah. No, congratulations, Scotland. It was,
Well done.
I mean, I was kind of switching between that England game and Northern Ireland. And yes, I didn't see a lot of it, but it was a brilliant brilliant save by David Marshall. And
oh, cracking save.
I mean,
VAR though.
I mean,
ruined the emotion of that.
Yeah, he's like, is it over?
He's literally, Imagine saving the decisive penalty and then having to be like, have we done it? You've got all the players running towards you as well. Just, part of me was slightly hoping for the ref to go, no, retake it, and all the Scotland players would just have to trot back after they're crying towards Marshall. But anyway, Derby's David Marshall.
Yes.
Might have to add. He's been probably Derby's Player of the Year, to be fair, so far.
Doesn't
Not
take
really
a lot.
Competition, but no, it was a cracking save, and it was good to. I like seeing scenes, in football, like with the dressing room, and they're all doing like the can with David Marshall at the front, and I like seeing and like obviously the post match interviews were good as well. I don't think Scotland fans will mind too much of an international break if that's what it means.
Yeah, no, there was some brilliant post match interviews, and you could obviously see what it means to them, and it is sort of once in a generation thing to them.
I wouldn't have thought Steve Clarke though would be the man to get Scotland to their first major tournament.
No, but from what I've seen and read during the week is that so he didn't start the best, and he's brought in a three at the back system, which did not start well. They had a couple of really awful games, and they were sort of begged to change the system. Was it Greece?
Who did they lose to? No, someone like Uzbekistan or Kazakhstan.
Yes,
like
they
that,
did. First game of the qualifiers, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was either. I think it was Kazakhstan.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah,
and it just wasn't working, and people were begging him, no, change it. Well, pretty similar to what they've been saying about Gareth Southgate today, but he stuck by it, and the systems worked, and they played some good football. And Serbia, on paper, are a better team than Scotland. They've got like sort of high level players all over the pitch, but they, at least for the first 60 minutes, they looked ordinary. And if it wasn't for 91st minute equaliser from from Jovic, Luka Jovic, then they'd have gone through a normal time. But you can see what it means to them, and it's going to be a hell of a game at Wembley, isn't it? And
it needs a crowd.
Yeah, it needs a crowd.
It needs,
and not for our sake, but for Scotland's sake, because that is going to mean an awful lot to them having the Tartan Army at Wembley Stadium.
But fair enough. Obviously, Derby. I'm reading the next note. Scotland, win it, coming to a major tournament, going to Wembley. But I want to hear 80,000 England fans screaming over Scotland. I want them chanting the "God Save the Queen." I want them absolutely just not edgeways. Pretty sure the last time Scotland and England faced each other in a major tournament, it was that Gascoigne goal. Seamer saved the penalty, and then pretty much from that,
it was that dentist chair celebration, wasn't it? With the
that was it. Yeah, flicked it over the defender, volleyed it in,
and
get the water ball. Oh.
Am I right in saying that was the game where you see the clip come up every now and then on Twitter of that rendition of the national anthem, where whoever they've got singing it, he does like the first 2 or 3 words. And the stadium just does the rest. He just goes, what?
But bring that back. But no, I'm looking forward to it. On paper, who do you think's winning the Euros?
It's a tough one, but I think Belgium have a good chance, but I think that there isn't a lot of squad depth. They've got a brilliant starting 11, but in terms of depth coming off the bench, I'm not too sure.
Germany are ageing.
I would have to say France.
I was thinking France.
You just think that attack, you've got Mbappe, you've got Griezmann, Giroud does really well. You've got Pogba does well for France. You've got Sissoko.
Kante,
and Nkunku, is it? Plays for Leipzig. You've got what's his name? Young French one, plays for Rennes.
On the right.
Kavinga, something like that. He's like 18.
Yeah, you got Lloris and
Mendy,
Lafont and Areola. You got Mendy. Yeah, squad depth for France isn't too bad, yeah. England's squad depth is brilliant. For the first time in so long, we've got quality and everywhere. You need to have the right. You can give me the world's most expensive Gibson guitar. I'm not going to play it.
Yeah.
What's the point of giving it to me? I'm not going to play it how you want it to play. So it'd be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to it.
I think I speak for the whole country that we want to see a 4-3-3 with a front three of Sterling, Kane and Sancho with with Grealish in behind. That's what we want. We want free-flowing, attacking football.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be nice. And just before we come off the international part of this podcast, quickly, did you see the San Marino player in his post-match interview? He broke down in tears and said this is for the country because for the first time in their history, they got back-to-back draws.
Hey! No, I didn't see that.
I love it.
They got a clean sheet, didn't they? They got a 0-0.
They got a clean sheet, back-to-back draws, and he's in tears because that's like the biggest accomplishment that country's ever had in football.
See that. Did you see the clip that's been circulated as well of balls going out for a corner? I think I think it's going out for a goal kick. It's going about 6 yards wide of the post. The keeper palms it back into the box.
No, I didn't.
But it's proper sort of Sunday league football. But it's
you love it.
I love
San Marino versus Gibraltar.
Yeah, I love to watch games like that though. It's brilliant.
Yeah, because you don't care who scores, but you just want to see someone score because you know that
it means so much. Yeah,
we've touched upon it quite a lot in this podcast, so we'll come on to it now. Derby have sacked Philip Cocu. Not from what I can see of Derby Twitter, because I follow quite a lot of Derby Twitter because I live here now. There was no hard feelings.
Yeah.
Yes, he was a good manager. I think I saw a tweet saying he was the right manager at the wrong time.
Yeah, I think I've seen that as well.
It was what I saw. And he's got quality and he's a good manager. He seems to know well, but yeah, I'm not surprised he's gone personally, and I don't think a lot of people are. And and I've not seen anything ill towards him. I've just seen nothing but respect towards him, and that's really nice to see. When I think everyone can just realise we know you're not
the problem.
Awful problem. You know, we know you're not the problem. It's just not working. And I think Cocu saw that, Derby saw that, and it's quite rare to see nowadays. There was no like calls for like Cocu out. There was some, but I don't think it was any like.
It wasn't in anger,
like
was it?
The
it wasn't
Ollie outs and stuff.
Yeah.
And so he was sacked on. I think it was yesterday. He was.
Yeah.
Now I'll very quickly read out Derby's tweet today and see if you could pick out quite an interesting development here. Even though it's all but done, I think it's all but done. But Derby have said, following discussions between the board and the club's new investors, the formal process for identifying the new manager of Derby County is underway. So I think the new owners have pretty much come in and been like, we want to bring our own man in. So they're not going to look to promote internally, I think. I don't think Rooney's getting the job. I don't think like Rossini, I think he's there.
He's part of the coaching team. Yeah. I think there's a coaching team of 4, of which Shay Given's part of as well.
Yes, and it looks like they're all still there. It's Cocu's people who he brought in.
I can see them being in charge of next weekend's game. I think it's against Bristol City. But then looking on from that, I don't think they'll be the sort of head coaches. They'll still be there at the club.
And obviously it is pretty much all but done. I think. So Derby have released quite a lot of statements in the EFL.
Yeah.
Now
I think that I've seen over the weekend that it's expected to get the new owners are expected to be announced either Tuesday or Wednesday. It's that close to being done. It's done.
So by the time you listen to this, Derby may already have announced it.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot on Twitter, which now looking at the new owners isn't out there. Rafa Benitez.
Yeah, I mean, is a
good shout.
Is that maybe just kind of putting 2 and 2 together? Because obviously these new owners were very close to taking over Newcastle, and the fans' pick at Newcastle would have been Rafa. But I think from what I've heard, Rafa isn't having the greatest of time in China, so he might be given the chance to move on from there. And Rafa Benitez in the Championship, he's got previous.
He's done it. Yeah, he's done it. You know, and with the investment that I'm sure he'll get with Derby that he didn't get with Newcastle, I'm sure he'll do an absolutely fine job, and it'd be good to see Benitez back in. I know he's in management in China, but we don't watch Chinese football, but back in management in England, it'd be good to see.
But one thing I'd maybe say on that is that I kind of see this next sort of move by Derby as being similar to when Wolves got their new investors and they brought in Nuno. This could be their Nuno moment, and Nuno is a young manager. He's seen it as a project, and I think he's had chances to move elsewhere, but he sees it as his project that he's done very well already on and is looking to the future. And I don't think that Rafa Benitez, with the age being that he is, would be sort of head of a project.
No,
he'd maybe be around for a few years, but I can see Nuno wanting to stay there sort of long term. But
that's fair enough. Who would you bring in then, long for longevity?
Well, realistically,
it's Eddie Howe.
No, I don't just want to say Eddie. Eddie Howe's the easy answer.
It's so easy to say
Yeah,
I agree. It's so easy to say Eddie Howe, but the thing is, though, he built a project. He was long term at Bournemouth with nothing.
No,
it is possible. It's just whenever I see a team do bad on Twitter, like Celtic recently, like Forest.
It's one of two names every time. It's Eddie Howe and Big Sam.
It's Eddie Howe.
But yes, I mean, if they weren't in the position that they were in, and I do think it's massively unrealistic, but it was kind of public knowledge that these owners wanted Pochettino at Newcastle. Now, I don't think Maurizio Pochettino is going to go to the bottom of the Championship.
No,
but we've
seen Edgar Davids manage Barnet.
But they'll be looking for someone who can sort of start a project and move with it in the same way that Nuno has at Wolves. And
I agree.
Regardless of who it is, it's going to be exciting to watch.
Yes, it will be. And Jacob will be there growing up with it.
Yes.
How sweet. Jacob will be like, I've supported Derby since, like you get the Man City fans. It's like, no, I supported them before 2008. It's like, well, did you?
Yeah.
I can imagine Jacob getting that heat.
I supported Derby since 2020. Oh, what, the year they got invested? The year they got taken over? Oh, of course you did. I was only born in 2018. 2019. 2019, sorry. Please cut that bit out. I'm a great godfather.
Positive week for Gillingham. They didn't play, so they didn't lose.
Yeah.
So I'll take that.
But
progress in the Papa John's trophy. Hashtag Gillingham done something.
I mean, you were lucky, weren't you?
Doesn't matter.
You lost, was it 2-0 to Arsenal's youth team?
And no, we drew 1-1, but we lost on penalties.
Yes, yeah. So lost
Trey
on penalties
Coyle's
to
England. Trey Coyle, Arsenal's under-21 start on loan for Gillingham, scored against Arsenal's under-21s.
And then had to rely on, was it Crawley to beat Ipswich?
And they did.
Yeah, fair enough. So, yeah, I mean, I think, we too also had a decent result in Papa John's trophy. Beat Harrogate.
It's the one everyone wants to win.
It's the one I want to win.
It's the one I want to win. I want a Papa John's, mate.
Yes. We've still got one game left to go because Grimsby got hit with COVID a month or so ago. So we play them on Tuesday night, and I'm pretty sure that anything but a loss in 90 minutes puts us through, even a loss on penalties. Because I'm not sure 100% of people who listen to this will be aware of. But I love this thing of you get 2 points for winning a penalty. So at the end of 90 minutes, it goes to a penalty shootout. You get 2 points if you win it and 1 point if you draw. I think bring that into the league.
I hate it.
Oh, no, I love it.
It's stupid.
I love it.
You get a point. You get a point if you draw, and if it goes to a penalty shoot and you win the penalty shoot, I don't get it. It's stupid.
Here's a question though. It goes to the last day of the Premier League season. You need 2 points to stay up. You go to penalties and you need to win the shootout to
win the game. You think every game in the Premier League that ends in a draw needs a penalty shootout to get an extra point?
I'd love it.
Really?
I've been to. I think I've seen. I think it's just the one penalty shootout live. We lost away at Tottenham, and I mean it's exciting. It's exciting to watch a penalty shootout.
I don't mind a penalty shootout, but right, no disrespect to Burnley and stuff like that, or your West Ham and stuff like that, but like your fourth draw in a row. And you just another penalty shoot. You're thinking,
Thing is, I don't mind watching 90 minutes of awful football to watch a penalty shootout at the end of it.
I couldn't do it. I think it's stupid. You just get a point for a draw.
Yeah,
You point for a draw, 3 points for winning.
I'm not going to mess with tradition, but I love this rule.
I don't get it. I don't get why it was even brought in. Who thought of that? Yeah. Just if you draw, you draw. Why do we need a penalty shootout at the end? That's just not how. That's not how group tables work.
Also, can we? So Gillingham were playing Arsenal's under-21s, in which they played Carl Jenkinson, who's got England caps.
Oh yeah, that England international Callum. Well,
was it Callum Chambers or was it Carl Jenkinson? It might have been both, to be fair.
Oh no, Callum Chambers is pretty much number one on the team sheet. No, he's playing for Arsenal.
Oh, okay.
Did you also see as well? I think it was this week. It might have been tail end of last week, but I didn't mention it. Danny Rose played for Tottenham's under-23s against Derby, and he lost.
I think he was playing centre midfield, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so. He was in the Champions League final not long ago.
What was it? Was it Inter Milan he was wanting, or Roma? Or AC Milan?
I don't know. Milan, yeah. I think it was. Yeah, Milan interested.
No.
No. So, but no, positive. Obviously, I think what helped Hull this week, and I'll let you talk about it, was not so much Hull's the result that Hull got, but it was the results around them. Yeah.
So with international break and with COVID and everything that's going on, there was only actually 3 teams at the top of the league who were playing games. There was us, there was Peterborough, and there was Sunderland, and we were the only team to pick up any points. We beat Burton 2-0, and now with our game, there was a kind of side story of Burton were hit by COVID. They wanted the game suspended. They had about 12 players to select from. They lost their manager during the week to Mansfield. On the eve of the game, they lost their first team coach and their performance analyst to go to Mansfield, join Clough there, and then the game starts. I think they had a couple players back that they weren't expecting, so it was a slightly stronger team than expected. But then within about 20 minutes, they're down to 10 men. So on paper, it's as easy a game as you're going to get in this league, and we made a mess of it, really. We didn't take the chances. We had so many chances. We won 2-0, but Burton's game plan was to not lose, and I mean, they scared us a little bit because it took us a little while to get
their keeper had a cracking game as well.
He had a brilliant game.
What I read.
Yeah. He did make some good saves. But yeah, most importantly, we got 3 points. We're 1 point behind Peterborough with a game in hand because Peterborough lost to Crewe and Sunderland lost at home to
MK Dons.
Sunderland lost at home to MK Dons. So
Lee Bowyer was the most unenthusiastic.
I did see that on Twitter. It's like, the ball's come into the box and it's gone for a goal.
Yeah, Jules. The call comes in, Jules, and he headers it wide. Still 0-0. That's it. That was literally
that was it. But yeah, it was a big weekend for us. We picked up points when other teams either weren't playing or lost, and it's the kind of weekend we definitely needed. And yeah, we've got 2 games now with Grimsby and the old Papa Johns, and then I think it's MK Dons next weekend, which hopefully another 2 wins.
Well, yeah. Hold on. Right. No one can see this because it's invisible, and obviously it's a podcast, so we don't record video. But I'm about to pull down on this invisible rope, and on this invisible rope that's going to come down behind me with all confetti is Southend have won a game. There it is in all its glory that no one can see because it's invisible. Southend
I wondered
have
where
won
you're
a game.
going with that.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, it kind of failed, but
yeah,
anywho,
amazing.
Southend have actually. Let's not talk. We won't allude too much on the fact that they lost 6-1 in the elusive Papa John's Trophy. So we rush over that. But Southend have actually won a game. They've won it.
Yeah, no.
They're well on their way.
Yeah, I mean now they're only 2 points off getting off the bottom,
and that surprises me because they've not won a game at all.
Yeah,
but they're 2 points off bottom. They're 2 points they're 3 points.
They're 3
away
points
from being out of relegation. Yeah,
up the south end,
which is a shock. But no, brilliant to see. Mm-hmm. Well, ish. If obviously I don't know who Southend's rivals are. Gillingham aren't exactly friends with them, but
Gillingham aren't friends with anyone.
No, but look, interestingly enough, and people generally go onto Wikipedia and look at this, when you go onto Gillingham and you go down to rivalries, it says, I think one of the first line is, no one considers Gillingham their main rival. And it's like, right, okay,
what about
there.
Chatham Town?
Like Maidstone, I think there was a point in time when Maidstone, back in the 90s or 80s, I think were hovering. Mm-hmm. And then I think they got rebranded Maidstone. Yeah. And they were in the conference at one point, but then I think they're now in National League South again.
What about, and I remember going to an FA Cup game at Priestfield where they played Dover. And
yeah, so you've got
I made a mistake that day. I went on the train from Faversham, which comes from Dover. It comes from Dover Priory through Faversham. I'm wearing a bright yellow Gillingham shirt and I'm sat at the back of the rain event. I'm like, oh no, what have I done here? But
I mean, yeah. Was it? No, I know what you mean. Like Dover, and you got Ebbsfleet, and you got Mason. You got all they're non-league, but there's no. You got to obviously there's Charlton, Millwall, but that's only because they're close. But there is no rivalry.
Yeah.
Apart from obviously Swindon, but that stems from just troubles with fans.
Yeah.
That's not footballing. That's just fan wise.
That's quite similar to Hull City because obviously our biggest rivals we see are Leeds. But then on the other side, teams that probably see us as their biggest rivals will be teams that we haven't played too much recently, which is Tuesday night's opponent, Grimsby, and Scunthorpe, because they're just the other side of the Humber Bridge.
Yeah, and North Ferriby.
Yeah.
But no, it's good for Southend. Maybe they could push off. Don't really know though.
They've just been dropping too much, and I think it's going to be difficult to kind of stop that momentum and turn it back.
No, I agree. Just very quickly, again, I'm not making any predictions ever because I've just had a nice quick look at the table. I think Oxford I have to go up and they're in a relegation zone, and I think I always had Wigan to go up and they're rock bottom of League One. So I am never making predictions again. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week. No, but congratulations, Southend.
Yes.
And the league round-up. Not really been much football in terms of like talking points this week. So what me and Elliot thought we'd do is just have a quick discussion. Not too long, but enough. We're heading towards Christmas, and we want to talk about the main clubs. The signings that they've made and who we think the best signing for the clubs have been this summer. It's going to be quite casual,
particularly just sort of the clubs that were busiest in the transfer window this season, because I think I was looking through the transfers, and I think Burnley's biggest signing was for 900,000 this summer. And so, they didn't have the busiest of summers. So if you're a Burnley fan, thank you for listening, but we won't be mentioning you in this part.
Come back for the pun.
Yes.
So I want to start with Tottenham.
Okay.
And I genuinely think their sign of the summer has been Højbjerg.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
He has been phenomenal. He has been. He is the first name on that team sheet every single week. He's the best Pierre in North London by far. he's just so good. I don't know how to describe it. He's just always there. He always tries to win the ball. He gets the ball. Southampton fans couldn't care less when he left. He was like, "Oh yeah, you'll get it up. Yeah, we want him to leave. Like, you think you're getting this world-class CDM." And the first game against Everton, he kind of made Southampton fans go, haha, see? Since then, he's been one of the signings of the season because no one expected it from him. It was about 10 odd million from Southampton. He was it. But he's the first name on every team sheet, and Tottenham fans love him. Yeah. Absolutely love him. He's brilliant. And I think, for me, that's it for me.
He was part of the reason why I kind of put this into the notes and kind of put it in as a feature because, obviously the big name signing is Gareth Bale, but then Højbjerg has made a big difference. And I think was it against United, his assist? It's just
to Ori,
yeah. And I mean that's not his game, but to have that as part of his game is brilliant.
No, but his interceptions and he's like
brilliant sort of ball winner. He will get the
standing
ball,
tackles.
He'll move it on, and he fits perfectly to the system. And I don't think that there's been a signing that hasn't worked for Tottenham this summer. Because I mean, second in this, I would have Reguilon. He looks fantastic, and I mean, I think he got another assist for Spain yesterday, and he is getting a lot of assists, and he's looking very good, and he's one of the best left backs in the league.
No, I agree. He's strong. Doherty still has a little bit. I think with Doherty coming in, I've seen Aurier seems to have stepped up. Mm-hmm. I think performances of Aurier have been much better. Obviously, Hart, he was never going to be.
He's done well when he's had to in Europa League.
He's played in Europa League. I've not heard any ill will against him. Yeah. He's a backup keeper. He's even come out and said, he's never come here to expect to be number one. Which is fair enough. He's a good voice in the dressing room to have. And obviously, you've got the player you've got Rodon from Swansea, who will be like that kind of player for the future. You still got Tanganga to come back as well from injury, so defensive-wise, Tottenham are doing well. But obviously, Højbjerg. Ndombele seemed like a brand new signing as well. He's what I think Tottenham were expecting him to be beginning of last season.
And then you got Vinicius, who hasn't really had too much game time yet, but I mean, he got 2 assists in his first game for the club. So again, another signing that's worked.
I think that's a statement of Mourinho. He knows what he wants, and
he's gone out and got him, and it's worked.
He gets it,
and they are
exactly right.
They are very much in the title race.
Exactly right. I want to go on to Aston Villa,
right?
Because I think Ross Barkley has made a huge difference to Aston Villa.
Okay,
I can't
see. I agree, he's made a difference, but I can't put him ahead of Ollie Watkins.
No, I agree. Ollie Watkins. I don't know. I think when you look at the Villa of last season to the Villa of this season, there's a bit more creativity, and obviously Ollie Watkins is scoring the goals as well. You got that keeper in Emilio Martinez, who defenders seem to be a bit more confident in front of. I think.
Yes. Yeah, and even Massey Cash has made a big difference at right back. Now
he's made a big difference.
I can't think who they were playing right back last season.
Not El Mohammadi.
I suppose it would have been.
Would have been El Mohammadi, wouldn't it?
But I've been watching him since 2012, and he's not a right back. He's really not a right back. But yeah, I think Matty Cash has been very. I mean, they've kind of signed very well all over the pitch, haven't they? And
even I'm looking through the squad and transfers. I can't.
Even is it Bertrand Traore? He hasn't had a lot of game time, but I think he scored a couple on his debut in the cup.
Yeah.
And another team that have kind of bought well, and everything's kind of stuck so far for them.
Liverpool, I think, are ruining the fact that they didn't really make any signings this summer. I think they got, obviously, Jota and Thiago are your main two. I think they've both worked out. Jota's he's been really good. He's been so good. And Thiago's had that little bit of spark in midfield, hasn't he? He's just that little bit of flair.
So obviously, I think Jota has been the standout signing. He's been the best signing for them so far. And yeah, like you say, I think he's what Liverpool fans wanted from Firmino. He's kind of brought more goals to his game than Firmino, while still keeping that sort of high press nature that's sort of known for Liverpool. And then Thiago, I mean, he's been unlucky so far. I think he played 45 minutes on his debut. Was it Chelsea? Was it against Chelsea? Then I think there was then an international break where he got COVID, so he was out for 2 weeks.
He had COVID, yeah.
Came back for the game against Everton, where he got injured, and I think he's been injured since, or maybe he played a handful of minutes, but nothing. Yeah,
from what
major.
From what you've seen of him, though, he's
a classy
energy,
footballer.
Yeah. Oh, very nice.
He's very good, yeah. And obviously, we haven't seen the best of Thiago in the Premier League yet. He's only played a handful of minutes. But yeah, Jota has been incredible.
Who'd have thought that in a transfer window where you bring in Ziyech, Werner, Chilwell, Thiago Silva and Kai Havertz, that you'd be talking that Chelsea's best signing this summer has been a goalkeeper from Rennes, who, let's be honest, I didn't really hear of before this the season kicked off. Don't know about you.
It's an interesting one. Yeah, I hadn't heard of him previous to this season. And yeah, I mean, he's been fantastic, but he's not my choice for best signing, although he has been a real step up on the world's most expensive goalkeeper. So my choice is that since he's come back in the last few games, Hakim Ziyech has looked absolutely incredible.
I agree with that, and I think if you ask me the question at the end of the season, who's Chelsea's best signing, I'd say probably Ziyech. But I think right now, if I had to base it on right now, I'd have to say Mendy.
See, I'd maybe say at the end of the season, if you ask me, maybe Werner. But
he's scoring some goals. He's starting
to click, isn't he?
Little, but you're starting to see his game come out a little bit more now. Yeah, he's adapting, isn't he? It's Bundesliga to the Premier League is massive difference.
I've been quite surprised by how little we've seen of Kai Havertz.
He's still very young, isn't he?
Of course. I think he scored a hat-trick against Barnsley, was it, in the Cup? But with respect, it's Barnsley. But I mean, obviously we're going to see a hell of a lot more.
With respect, it's Barnsley. It's the quote of through on goal since we started doing this back in May. With respect, it's Barnsley. Thank you. That is I'm going to redo the logo.
Off the top of my head, I think Barnsley did the double over us last season.
With respect, Elliot, it's Barnsley.
Did they just beat Derby as well?
They did, yeah. They beat Derby 2-0, yeah. But I want to watch. I'm going to have. While you do that, I'm going to very quickly look up Gillingham and Barnsley's head-to-head record just to see before I go.
But yeah, I think Chelsea have bought very well, and it is starting to click a little bit. And Thiago Silva, who hadn't really seen a lot of in truth, he was nominated for Player of the Month, which it hasn't been mentioned yet, but Heung-min Son won, and probably rightfully so. It was going to be him or Harry Kane for the month that Spurs have had.
Oh.
So have you found Gillingham versus Barnsley's head-to-head?
I haven't. It's not good.
It's not good.
Not good.
Oh.
Gillingham have won 7, drawn 9, and lost 16.
Oh,
the last game that Gillingham and Barnsley played was in League One, 9th of February 2019, and Gillingham lost 4-1. So,
to be fair, though, it's Barnsley. Yeah, to be fair, though, Barnsley are one of those teams that are sort of in League 0.5. They're too good for League One, and they're not good enough for the Championship, but they're in that league with Wigan and Rotherham.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And
respect.
I forgot, where were we? Sorry.
So we've just done Chelsea.
Yes, that we have, yes. Sheffield United is still bottom of the league.
Are they
not
on
won
2
a game.
Points?
Yeah,
they're not doing amazingly. Yeah.
I can't. There's no one that stood out for me.
See, I think come the end of the season, it might be a case of Ryan Brewster, but he hasn't done anything yet in a Sheffield United shirt. But I think even though he's not been judged particularly well so far, I think Aaron Ramsdale has got big shoes to fill from last season with Dean Henderson. And I think even though obviously it's not the greatest defensive record and they're not doing very well in the league, I think he's doing a good job of what he's got. Yeah. Yeah,
I would argue he seems a bit shaky. I don't know why. I get that. He was, from what I remember of Ramsdale at Bournemouth, he had a cracking start to the season. I don't really remember much hype at the end of the tail end of the season. Then when Sheffield United bought him, I was thinking, young English goalkeeper, they've got record, Dean Henderson, old Paddy Kenny. But when you think about Paddy Kenny weren't English, was he? I think
No,
he
and
was
I've just loved that you've just described Paddy Kenny as young.
No, I know that was the,
No,
that
I
was the
know.
joke because I can't think of any other English goalkeepers, and I'm making a big point of them making English goalkeepers. I forgot where I was. Oh, yeah,
George Long.
George Long. Yeah, you think you want to talk about George Long, do you?
I really don't. He got his first clean sheet in about 300 days on Tuesday against Harrogate.
With respect,
It's
it is
Harrogate.
But no, they made a double signing, didn't they, from Derby of Bogle and I can't remember who else it was.
It wasn't. Was it Lowe or am I Max Lowe? That rings
Max
a bell.
Lowe, that's it. Yeah, Max Lowe.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'd like to see Brewster. There's no doubt in my mind the talent that Brewster is, but I don't know if he's going to become another Lingard.
Right. Yeah.
Very, very a lot of hype. And yeah, he might play well, but do you know what I mean? There's that character about him that I don't want to see fall into that.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean, and he needs a bit of confidence, doesn't he? He needs a goal or two under his belt, and then hopefully that can kind of get going.
That's it. Start going for it. Other than that, there's not really been much talk about another team. Obviously, Everton. It's everyone
It's
that
James.
Everton signed.
James is a big difference, but then obviously Allen's made a big difference as well.
Decore.
What about Leicester?
What about Leicester? So
Under has looked very good since
has
coming.
shown very good signs.
Was-
That assist to Vardy that he did where he chipped it over the keeper was
I was about to mention that. He's watching the replay. I'm always, whenever I watch a replay of like an assist or whatever, I'll always see like, do they make a look up? He doesn't. It's just sort of an educated guess that Vardy is in that position.
Yeah.
and it's a
good guess.
brilliant assist. But then
And,
Wesley Fofana,
Well, no, I was going to say Castagna.
Castells. Castagna.
Castagna, or whatever his name, I don't know. But no, him from
Castells.
Atalanta. No, Fofana's
He's
true,
Xbox.
but
Yeah,
no,
I
he's right back, isn't he? Or he's kind of right wing back, I think he's kind of been playing.
Yeah.
He's really shown. He's got a couple of assists this season and a goal in 6 games, so
I think Fofana's looking very good. He's looking
comfortable.
very composed, and he's that long-term replacement for Johnny Evans, who is obviously getting on a little bit. And him alongside Sowenchu could be a hell of a defensive partnership for them.
Well, top of the league if they keep it. But obviously, easy to with Arsenal as well. Easy to say Thomas Partey because he does show it. But for me, it's that Gabriel centre back that they've signed from Lille.
Sort of shored it up a little bit.
He just looks comfortable, doesn't he? He looks like he's been playing in that Arsenal centre back line in the Premier League for a few years.
And also importantly, it means that you don't have to start David Luiz.
Who hasn't had the worst season, to be fair.
Yeah, I can't think of any mistakes that he's made so far.
And this is rare for us.
This is very rare.
Yeah. So, other than that, I'm just having a quick look through the league table. Obviously, we've mentioned, briefly Everton. Wolves, I don't think...
Semedo's, I haven't really seen a lot of him, in truth. Obviously, what's his name? Fabio Silva? Haven't seen a lot of him, but he scored a couple of goals midweek. I think it was against Doncaster in the Papa John's.
No, yeah.
But with respect, it's
With
Doncaster.
respect.
It's Donny.
I was going to say Man United, but... Man United's just been awful. Alex Telles, I think he's played for
COVID.
PSG and he's got COVID. Donny
played
van de
for
Beek,
Porto.
I don't know what's happened with Donny van de Beek. He must have said something to Solskjaer that he didn't like and it's just not played him ever since. Cavani scored his first goal, happy days. But other than that,
nothing
it's
special,
not really...
is there? Nothing that's really it's not what Tottenham has done and bought players that they need, and players that have improved the team.
No, that's it. And Leeds have made quite a lot of signings. Obviously, their keeper Melser, I think he was on loan last season. They brought him in. That's a good good signing there as well. Jack Harrison as well on loan from Man City. He's had a cracking start to the season for Leeds, I think too. Obviously, Rodrigo still finding his feet, and Robin Koch. I had to put the emphasis there so we don't get censored.
And is it Rafinha as well, Brazilian right mid?
And Diego Llorente as well from Sociedad.
But
hasn't
none
played
really
yet. I think he's still injured, but he's a centre back. So other than that, I think I think we just wanted to just talk about pretty much the Premier League. Obviously, it's back on Saturday. We'll be talking more Premier League and Chelsea PFL back next Sunday. But without trying to talk too much about I'm a Celeb, wasn't really much to talk about this week. Was there?
Yeah,
I'm a Celeb was good though.
Yes,
I've missed
it's good to be back.
No, it's good to be back.
And also, it feels I always sort of see I'm a Celeb as this sort of start of Christmas.
Build up to Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like opening the first door of the Advent calendar is I'm a Celeb.
Right, okay. We haven't got a name for this segment yet, so I'm just going to end the podcast with a pun. It's a fortnightly pun. You may laugh, you may cry with laughter, but you'll probably cry. Elliot, my pun this week, it's a good one, I think.
Okay,
it's all right. I chuckled. If I chuckle,
it was a strong chuckle.
Normally, if I laugh, no one laughs.
Okay.
If I chuckle, no, it's all right. And if I don't, it means I've forgotten it was my week to fix something and I've just scraped the barrel. So, my pun. I've just finished building a model of Mount Everest. My mate asked, is it to scale? I said, no, it's to look at. So we thank you very much for listening to this week's podcast.
Oh, no.
We are Through On Goal. We are TO Goal Podcast on Twitter. Please follow us. We are Through On Goal on YouTube as well. Give us a like, subscribe. Wherever you find the podcast, I know Apple, Spotify, we're everywhere. It's hard to get rid of us, and you're not going to, so soz. Yeah, thank you very much. That was a good part. I thought it was all right.
It was.
See, I told you, it's the chucklers.
Is that one from your dad joke book that the hospital gives you as you leave?
Nah.
I'm convinced they do that because you were a different man once Jacob was born.
Oh, I've got so many jokes. I've got so many. That's why that's unfortunate, but every 2 weeks I'll give you a chuckle. Although it was still hard to beat. I'm still laughing from your no context news last week. I'm still reading from it. It was
Devastated.
But thank you very much for listening. I've been Sam.
I've been Elliot.
Yeah, thank you for listening. We'll see you next week. Tell your friends. Bye.
Bye-bye.